because I've been fielding so many questions about the CISS systems lately, figured I'd just make a quick video explaining how they work, because every time I type it out, it's like almost a book. So just going to show you visually what all you need to do. So it has two separate systems that are connected. So you have the tank system and the cartridge system, and then you have the tubes that lead from one to the other. We're going to start here with the tanks. Each tank has the front part, which you fill with ink, and the back part that's for air. When you get these, it's not going to have any of these plugs in there. But after that point, you should always have one of the two plugged. You don't ever want both of them open at the same time. You can leave both of them closed and it kind of creates like a vacuum, but never both open. So what you're going to do first when you fill it is you're going to plug in the back, and the front's going to be open. So then once you fill it up, you're going to look, the ink level will be wherever you filled it to, and the back is going to have just a little bit at the bottom. When you place this system, you're going to want it so that this bottom level is about level with the print head. The ink level should be above the print head. That helps with how the gravity pulls it to flow it and bring it into the carts. If you have it up high like this one is, what's going to happen is the ink is going to continuously leak down in most printers, and that will cause flooding in here. Whereas on most printers, it's not in this separate little tank. The cartridges are actually inside the print head itself. So when these leak out like that, it's going to seep into the print head, and that's where you're going to end up frying the components of your print head, and that's going to be the expensive repair. So you don't ever want this up high. The only reason is like on this, because like I said, this is a completely separate system, and this runs off a pressure-based system where it pulls ink through. It doesn't just flow. So that's the only reason why this is up this high. Now, say you filled this up and you forgot to plug the back in, or at some point you take both of them out. What's going to happen is the ink is going to level out. Now, you don't want this, because when you fill it all the way up to here, it'll have the same ink level if you do it this way, and the air is not going to be able to escape through here. It's going to have too much ink to go through. It's not going to do it. It's not going to filter the way it's supposed to. If it ends up looking like this, it is okay. It is not the end of the world. All you have to do is just plug the front of the tank again, lean the system forward, the air is going to move into the back tank, and the ink's going to go in the front. Simple fix. So then once you have that all primed and ready to go, you've got your ink lines here. Some ink may have already flown down into the lines, and that is okay. What you're going to do from that point is you're going to take your cartridge. You're going to find which side the air plug is. Most of them, everyone that I've ever seen, just has one that the line goes into and a second one. What you're going to do is you're going to set it up like this so that the feeding part's down here and the air plug is at the top. If you do it the other way, when you do this, all you're going to be doing is sucking ink out. You're not going to get the air that's up at the top. So, with it angled the right direction, you take that air plug out. You're going to plug the syringe into that hole, and you're just going to pull back until you get ink flowing into the syringe. Once you have that, you take that out, put the plug back in, and you're all set and ready to go. Other than that, one time, or if you ever have to pull more ink into it, these should always be sealed. I'll periodically take the ones out of the white just to put a syringe in there and kind of like blow bubbles so that it mixes up the white ink that's in there. But otherwise, I think that's about everything that you need to know for these. Just note that on like the XP 15000, for the ink cartridges, you're going to have the sponge part up in the air. And make sure that you have the clip on the bottom where it feeds into the print head, because if you don't have that, you're just going to keep sucking air in and it's not going to actually pull any ink from the tank. But if you have any questions otherwise, feel free to reach out and ask me, but otherwise, it's actually really simple when explained and shown rather than just typed out. So yeah, there you go.